Louisiana Beer Reviews Finch, Fascist Pig. Hey, what'd you call me? 8% alcohol, 72 international bitterness units, caramel malts, rye, and they also use palisade and Zythos hops. Topo fascists, not cans. Yeah, how about that? This is a taped on can. You can see the seam. From Chicago, Illinois. It's been a while since I've been to Chicago, Illinois. Wet Your Beak by April 25th, 2019, batch number 1202. It's within the date, guys. It's strange that they call it Fascist Pig because the uniform, now they used to have a pig wearing a Hawaiian shirt, which was strange. Now they show missiles flying. But the pig looks more like a communist. In other words, he looks, I don't know who the artist was, but he might have been confused because it's showing like a Fidel Castro type. He's got the big cigar and the Cuban Communist Party hat and even pockets, shirt pockets that look like the Cuban flag. So it's, I don't know what, if they're trying to say more with the art than the title. Anyway. It's been about 4 years since I've had this beer. Now look how slow it's pouring out of this. That is a smooth flow, huh? And that's a straight in pour, but it's so non-aggressive. The way the can is letting it come out. A thin, bone-colored head on this very cloudy and extremely windy day, warm and humid. Gonna get up to about 81 here in March 2019. Okay. It's not even 9 a.m. yet. It's more like a rust-colored ale, really. More orange than red. Let's call it a reddish orange. Lots of bubbles, and it don't really see much sediment. There's so much condensation on the glass from the humidity, you can't tell if it's clear or not. It's mostly clear, I do believe. All right, aroma. There's pollen everywhere, falling on everything. Very strong red malts. Okay, so at least they're not calling it an India Pale Ale because it's certainly not pale. Classic tannin, strong malt ale. Oh, it smells like bread toast. Toast crust. Bread toast crust. Bread toast crust. Okay, Beer Advocate says it's good, 73. I would call it average, but they're saying good. Rate Beer says, no, it's not good. It's a 69 out of 100, which to me would be a D plus. But that's, and they're saying in the style, it's a 37. So Rate Beer does not like it. And then Untapped's saying 71. So we're going from 69 to 73. Not exactly super favorable averages there. But I think it smells wonderful. It looks nice and it smells really wonderful. It does kind of remind me of the Lady Wells Ale, the Heineken. I was about to say Heineken. Well, it is owned by Heineken. The Murphy's Red Ale. Well, that's a much lighter beer in ABV. I think it's 5.4%. This is 8, but so roasted. So cereal oriented. Almost like bran flakes. So we're winning and winning so far. And I see pollen falling right while I'm talking. I used to not like red ales. It was too tannic for me, too like unusual or nasty. But I, like most things that I hate at first, I'll start liking them. And I started to come around to it. I like the sweetness, sugary sweetness, but not, it's different from an IPA sweetness. This is like a brown sugar. Those would be more like white cane sugar. High medium body, not heavy, but high medium. Medium dry finish. It does feel like an 8% ale, really. It feels strong. It's not boozy, but it just feels, with the body and everything, it feels like it's a high gravity ale. I noticed that this magenta azaleas come out, kind of that pink thing, they come out sooner than the white azaleas. They're still blooming mostly, so come out at different times. So by the time those are in full bloom, these are already deteriorated. Azaleas are kind of an ugly bush. The flowers are beautiful, but you only get about maybe 2 good weeks out of them. So you got 50 weeks of ugly and 2 weeks of beautiful. My father bought a house and bought property and then cut down all the azaleas in the front. I was like, why would you do that? He does those things. One good thing about azaleas, the cold doesn't bother. It got down to 18 degrees last winter, killed everything else. And it didn't bother the Japanese plum tree. That thing just scoffed at the 18 degrees. But you know, I had to cut everything else down to the soil, which it grew back fine. But the azalea, it's like it had never gotten cold. Totally indifferent to the cold. All right. $72 IBUs. It doesn't come across particularly bitter, and I think that's because you got the high ABV, a lot of sweetness, like I said, the brown sugar sweetness, and it's kind of balancing out the bitterness. They're kind of like working together in concert to make it more rounded than sharp sharp on the edges. I liked it when I had it years ago. And I think then was when a viewer sent me some stuff. And I always tell people, don't send me beer, because what happens, you send it and you say, I'm never going to get it, and then a month later, we get it. I mean, I'll take it, but I'm saying it's a big expense, a lot of trouble, and we tend to get what people say we're not going to get. Cyclops scale is probably 4 out of 5 sugar cubes. It's a pretty sweet beer, but in a good way. And it's probably 4 out of 5 hop cones. So it's a pretty intense product. It's like bold, 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 bold everywhere across the board. A lot of people I know would just hate it. They would say it's too strong, it's too strong, it's too nasty. But then again, these are people that typically drink Coors Light, or Miller Lite, or Bud Light, Miller High Life Light. They're not going to like this. And of course, they're not obligated to like it. And also, they wouldn't even try it. They might if I kind of like pressure them to. They would humor me. But I don't even do that anymore. I can tell when the people aren't really interested, so I just say forget it. You know, if they're satisfied with Miller High Life Light, I shouldn't be trying to say, do all this, try all this. Now, people approach me and they're curious, fine. But that's kind of my attitude now as far as being a craft beer enthusiast. I'm saying, to be one, ask one. But I'm not going to recruit you. All right, so Les Bon Ton Relais, an A beer, I'm going to say 95 out of 100, a solid A ale, but I wouldn't want to drink too much, it's so heavy and strong. Look at those beautiful bubbles. I don't know if you can see that, but they're really just bountiful and strong and powerful, but tiny. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana.